had an encounter with the devil?
Yeah, I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They having OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them, like, how y'all get all this money? They like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. No, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic ritual? He say, the Illuminati never talked to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him, like, bro, you playing a game. Like, he like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? Keep it PG-13. He was basically saying, either you let him peg you or you do oral and you'll get whatever you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you gotta let them do is just do what they want to do to you. Just for a night. Do some gay, basically do some gay. They doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. I don't got no service. The people who booked me left. After they leave, I'm in the car with the other dude that they called up to have a photo shoot with me. I get in the car with him in a 3-seater McLaren. On the way up, we go all the way up, like in the swivel, like all the way around the mountain.
Yeah.
On the way down, we take a right. So he not going the same way that we came up. So then that's what I try. I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's, gang. He said, we're not gonna take you to get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. This face change, gang. In front of me. You see Venom? Like,
Yeah, like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Kind of like that. Probably about this wide. Face change. I'm like, what the? Like, it's probably about like right here. Like, see somebody morph into something?
Yeah.
It's like that. It threw me all the way off. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you gotta push to get up out of there.
Gotcha.
He smack our mailbox. So now he hit the button and he get up out of there. He hit the button and get up out of there. I see the button, I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. Guess what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I run up to him, I'm like, hey bro, let me get in the back of your truck. He looking at me like, yeah, no. I look at him, I'm like, bro, just let me get in the back of your truck, bro. Please, just take me down. Take me down to the bottom. Please, just take me down to the bottom. It was God, he took me down to the bottom. Like, people on camera, you ain't gotta believe me, I don't care. I really saw this.
I believe it.
And it made me, that's what made me know that the devil and God was real.
The earth couldn't.
Wait, you had an encounter?
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakak. Double honor to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and safety unto the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Push this word in humility and sincerity, as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. Yeah, this is a video that I've seen that I've been holding on to, contemplating if I wanted to do a response to it, and I guess I'm doing it now. I guess this is a rapper named Lil Tony. It said he revealed he had an encounter with the devil. Says it's what made him start believing in God. So, and this is what happened. This is how you get fortune and fame. You gotta bow down to Satan, and as he said, you gotta do demonic rituals. Now, what was interesting about the choice of demonic rituals, he said he used the P word, the P-E-G-G-E-D word. And we all know of a famous Israelite, infamous Israelite, I should say, that recently is, it's being said that he got, pegged, man. So I'm like, damn, this dude just said it, the Illuminati or the hidden one, the hidden society or the elites, they approached him and basically said that, look, if you want fortune, if you want fame, if you want clout, you got to get pegged or you got to do some mo shit. And the reason why they always go to the mo shit for these rituals and for these, for you to sell your soul is because they deal with sex magic, and that's like the furthest you can get from the Heavenly Father, is being a damn mo. And there was something known as temple prostitution, where you have sex to an idol. The women of the Moabites in the scriptures, I believe that's the numbers. Let me see. I don't really want to look it up right now, but they would have sex in the name of their God. They would make the Israelite men have sex in the name of their God. So let me play this again real quick.
photo shoot, they took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top.
He said they took me all the way up into a high mountain, and you know, I believe his story to be true. I don't know if he saw Satan himself, but he probably saw a demon. He probably did encounter a real life demon. Okay, because demons they can show themselves. Okay, they said they took him up to a mountain. Satan took Yahushua. That was Satan right there, slip of the tongue. Satan took Yahushua up to a high mountain. That's why Hollywood is on a mountain. They call them the Hollywood Hills. Okay, they take you up on them high elevated positions because that's where they will sacrifice to idols, on elevated positions, on a mound or a hill. That's in the scriptures as well.
Top of the mountain, we finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them, like, how y'all get all this money? And like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. No, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money?
See, because the truth is stranger than fiction. So when people is confronted with the truth, one coping mechanism is to laugh. Cognitive dissonance. Okay, you reject something that, you know, is pretty much common sense because this is a wicked, evil world. So you would expect that people that have a lot is because they do wicked shit. But see, people don't want to think like that. People have, they got this naive, preconceived notion that, everybody's good and everybody naturally has good intentions and all this other dumb shit. Look, man, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's wicked. Nobody follows the Heavenly Father. Okay? So they told him straight up. And like I said, when you get to certain levels, at first it's like a curtain, and what they do is, because I used to do music, and so at one point in time I started to be around certain individuals in my city. I ain't gonna say nationally, but certain individuals in my city that got a little bit of name, and I started to see like, yo, these guys behind closed doors, they kind of effeminate. Behind closed doors, they ain't as hard as they is on the songs. And I'll never forget, I did this event. I was a photographer. I didn't know about the truth at the time, but I was a photographer because I did music, I did photography, and I had my own clothing line. And so I did this event where I was gonna be taking pictures, and it was a fashion show, and it was at a Masonic temple. Like I said, I wasn't in the truth, so I didn't know the significance of Masonic temples and all of that. But when I was there, I knew that was some demonic shit. Okay? I knew that was some demonic shit. Them niggas was backstage, like people that, they portray themselves on the internet to be rough and tough. They backstage hugging up on each other. There was a few celebrities there that I'm not gonna name, but they was there. And it just was a real dark presence. It was a very dark presence. It was a lot of pyramids. They kept throwing up pyramid symbolism, one eye symbolism I kept seeing. I knew that it was demonic, man. I knew that it was this. I'm like, this cannot be right. Something don't feel right about these individuals. And they'll try to groom you. And then once they feel like they've groomed you enough, then they'll reveal the truth for you. Then they'll give it to you straight. So this is where this individual was at, where they was giving it to him straight. Like, look, you want this shit, you got to do demonic rituals. And it start off with just some gay shit. That's the first ritual. It goes deeper than that. And after that, you have to continuously sacrifice to continuously be rewarded. So if you want to keep the fame, now you got to, eliminate somebody in your family, or now you got to do this or do that. It gets deeper and deeper. This is just how they reel you in to see if you're going to bend over. Because if you'll bend over, you'll do any fucking thing.
Got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them, like, how y'all get all this money? And
you see Gorilla Hebrew, he'll do anything. Why? Because he'll bend over. This nigga on camera talking about he on a mission from God and Gumpy. He on a mission from God and the Hoovers, man. What the fuck is wrong with this dude, man? This nigga will do anything to maintain that fame and that clout and that money, man.
We do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. No, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what time?
That's why the Heavenly Father tells us not to be covetous, man. Because he was covetous, and look what situation that he got him in. Damn near got his ass sacrificed. He probably was going to become the sacrifice. Who knows?
He say, the Illuminati never talked to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him like, bro, you playing a game. Like, he like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? Keep it PG-13. He was basically saying, either you let him peg you or you do oral, and you'll get whatever you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you gotta let them do is just do what they want to do to you. Just for a night. Do some gay, basically do some gay.
Just for a night, man. It's an evil world, man. It's an evil world. And you got people out here that sell their soul, man. This is what the scriptures is talking about, man. Okay? A lot of you seem to think that this is fantasy or fairy tale. No, this is real, man. That's why a lot of them people, after they become famous, rich and famous, they lose their mind because what they had to do to get there. Let me see. Prophet. What's Charlotte Prophet, man? This is Mark chapter 8, verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So if you want to gain the riches of this world, you have to lose your soul. That's what you give in exchange for your soul in Esau's temporal evil world. It says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And a lot of times you have to give your manhood. You got to be pegged, or you got to do some oral, as he said, man. This is madness, man. But this is what you Israelites, this is how the so-called white man elevates you Israelites. He don't just elevate an Israelite to fame and fortune, man. You got to do some degenerate shit, man. You know, and a lot of you Israelites says such a man setteth his own soul for sale. It's in the Apocrypha. It's in the Apocrypha. Sirach 10, verse 9, it says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, because you will do anything. For such a one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. So you'll sell your soul. You'll sacrifice your family members. That nigga Kanye West said my mother was a sacrifice. He said it. He just said it straight up. My mother was a sacrifice. You know. What's the nigga? Is a recent nigga. I think he a Levite. This crazy looking nigga. I don't know his name, but he was in the interview where he's sitting on the porch and he said he sacrificed his son. He said he sacrificed his son for fame. You know, he said it with a straight face, man. This is the lens that Jake will do, and this is how you got it. This is, if you want to be on a level in this world, if you want to obtain happiness, you know, through material things in this world, this is the stuff that you got to do, man. You got to bow down to Satan. And even Satan, he actually approached Yahushua with that ridiculousness. Let me get that in Matthew, the 4th chapter, real quick. Matthew 4, verse 1. And then was Yahushua led up into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. So this man, Lil Tony, he was actually tempted of the devil. Now, whether or not he went through it or not, who knows, man? He's saying he escaped because the mailman, you know, but who knows, man? You know, because that nigga look effeminate. Anybody, all these men, Israelite men in this world, they look effeminate, man, with their lineups and they face tats and, you know, who knows if he actually, you know, got away. It says, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. And saith, is always an elevated place, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down. For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against the stones. So Satan uses the scriptures when he, a lot of times he'll, like, because people come up to us and they claim that they know the Bible. Well, Satan know the Bible, man. They come up to us with a false doctrine, being a deceiver, but Satan came to Yahushua with a false doctrine, being a deceiver, telling Yahushua to, jump off the building, telling Yahushua, command these stones be made bread, and, So anyway, let me get to the point. I thought that was the point. It's actually in verse 8. It says, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. So in order to get the kingdoms and the glory of them, you got to worship Satan in this present time. Okay? It says, then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Now there's another one in Luke, the 4th chapter. The same account is in Luke, the 4th chapter. Yeah, Luke 4 and 5, excuse me. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. You see? So Satan has been given that power to give the glory of the kingdoms of this world, this temporal world, to whosoever shall worship him. It says, if thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. So this is what you got to do, man. You got to worship Satan in order to get the fame and the glory, man, of this world, man. And it's interesting that he said you got to be PEG'd, man. Okay? PEG'd. So you Israelites that's selling your soul, man, you're gonna die. It's over for you. It's over for you. This is Revelation 22. Let's see. Revelation 22 and 15. I'm going to start at 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. That's idolatry, man. You bowing down, worshiping Satan. Obviously, that's clearly idolatry, man. You doing sex magic. Is that Baal Peor, worship of Baal Peor? Let me see. Let's see. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, what is temple prostitution? Temple prostitution, sometimes called sacred prostitution or cult prostitution, was an ancient religious practice. It was ancient, but it still goes on today. Okay? You got something called the casting couch. Okay? Like he said, you just got to do it one night. Just let them do what they want with you. But then, like I said, in order to maintain that fame, they'll approach you 2 years, 3 years, a year later and say, well, it's that time again. You got to do another ritual. You got to do another sacrifice. Okay? And each level, it gets harder and harder. This is why it get to a certain time where the celebrities, so-called celebrities, they've had enough, and they won't want to sacrifice no more, and then they end up in jail or they end up dead. Okay, because they don't want to play the game anymore. And if you an Israelite, man, it don't matter if you play the game or not. Eventually, it's gonna end bad for you, because the devil always double cross you. Always. You could do everything right. Then niggas still lock your ass up, because they don't want a so-called Israelite man, not a so-called black man, an Israelite man, or a Negro or Latino man to have a positive legacy in this life. So they will tarnish your legacy before you die. Prime example being Bill Cosby, which that nigga legacy wasn't shit, you know. But according to people in the world, they look at him as a role model, somebody who was never in trouble, somebody who always portrayed, you know, the family and, you know, good values and things like that, you know, carnally. So what they had to do, they had to make an example out of that nigga. It says it was a ancient religious practice in which sexual acts were performed as part of worship, usually in connection with fertility gods or goddesses. Religious context. In certain ancient cultures, Mesopotamian, Canaanite, and Greco-Romans, the Romans still ruling today, people believed that sex could please or honor a deity, promote fertility of the land, and ensure blessings. Right, so they would do these different rituals, have sex with these women, and the women, they would believe that, you know, they would have good harvest that year, or they would receive fame, fortune, money, okay, or just to do it to their God. It says biblical mention. Sometimes it's like it says the Old Testament. Hold up. Was I done with there? Yeah, promote fertility of the land and ensure blessings. Some temples had men or women dedicated to these sexual rites. The Old Testament refers to sodomites or male cult prostitutes, meaning consecrated ones. I don't know about that. It says Israel was strictly forbidden from practicing this. Deuteronomy 23, verse 17 through 18. 1 Kings 14 and 24, and Hosea 4 and 14. These acts often linked to fertility gods like Baal, Ashtoreth, Ishtar, or Aphrodite. The idea was that sexual union symbolized and encouraged the divine union of deities, ensuring agricultural prosperity and blessings. The practice is consistently condemned and is mixed idolatry with sexual immorality and profane worship. Yeah, that's why the one Israelite, Phineas, was it? This is Numbers 25 and 7 and 6. Behold, let me see. You can start at the top. I'm gonna get to the point though. Numbers 25 and 9. This was an instance of somebody who was doing that sex magic, that's temple prostitution. Numbers 25 and 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman. So I thought it was Moabitish. It was Midianitish. In the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up amongst the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman, through her belly, because they was having sex to her God. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. So the Most High sent the plague because our people was worshiping Baal Peor. And matter of fact, I'm going to look up Baal Peor real quick in Numbers 25. See what it says in the Hebrew. And I'm going to close. Okay, yeah, it was a woman of Moab too. Numbers 25 and 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Right. The whoredom was not just laying down with them. Okay, because we can deal with women of the other nations. We can have concubines. The whoredom was that these women were temple prostitutes. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, you see. And the people did eat and bowed to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel. Let's go to Baal Peor. It says Baal Paiwan. It's like it. Baal Paiwar. Lord of the gap. Lord of the gap. Right. What is that gap talking about? It's talking about the vagina, man. The hole. The deity worship at Peor with probable licentious rituals. With probable licentious rituals. Let's look up licentious. Promiscuous and unprincipled in sexual matters. You see? So it says crude, offensive sexual acts. So this is how you worship Baal Peor, by sexual acts. That's how you worship Baphomet, by sexual acts. That's how you worship Satan, through sexual acts. You know? So yeah, I believe this dude. I believe he's seen what he's seen. I believe he experienced what he experienced. Now, I don't know if he's telling the truth about him not going through with it. You know? Maybe he did go through with it, maybe he didn't. You know? But because I guess before that day, he didn't believe in the Heavenly Father. It's funny that you people got to be introduced to the left-hand side, to the wickedness, to Satan, just to believe in good. You know? It's crazy. But Lord, when it's edifying, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Kom Yashrala, Shalom.